Disneyland Limited, now loading for around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom, the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. Stops at Frontierland, Toontown, and Tomorrowland.
We're now returning to Toontown and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, we're now returning to our...
Thank you for your patience. Please remain seated. Parents, once again, please make sure all children under the age of 7 are sat away from the train openings or on an adult's lap. Our next stop is Tomorrowland Station. Your stop for Frontierland, Frontierland, and your closest stop to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Please remain seated.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the Primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide de los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square. This station also serves Frontierland and Bayou Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you who can't walk with us,
This will be your stop for Adventureland, Frontierland, Bayou Country, and your closest stop to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. To those of you that will be continuing on the bus, please do so favor slide all the way over. In order to make room for friends joining us here in the station, thank you. For those of you that just joined us, welcome aboard. Please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train car while the train is in motion. Parents, please supervise your children. Make sure they're sat away from the train openings or on an adult's lap. Our next stop is Mickey's Toontown Depot. Your stop is Fantasyland and Toontown itself. Please remain seated.
to those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños.
Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. We're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see.
Parents, once again, please make sure all children are completely seated while the train is in motion. They must be seated on the bench away from the openings or on an adult's lap.
I learned about names.
There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below.
I learned about
People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. This tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of gear. The one you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown. Our official train station, Mickey's Toontown. Our home where Mickey, Minnie's, and all their friends live.
Oh my God, we're
Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop.
Once again, folks, please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop here in the station. This is Mickey's Toontown Depot, your stop for Toontown itself, and your stop to Fantasyland and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. To those of you that will be continuing on with us, please do us a favor and slide all the way over to make room for friends joining us here in the station. Thank you. We're now departing Toontown. Please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train car while the train is in motion. Parents, please supervise your children. Make sure they're seated away from the train openings or on an adult's lap. Our next stop is Tomorrowland.
Hi. Remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all.
Stay seated, please. Take a seat. The train is moving. I need you seated.
And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain.
Mommy, why this one you should down? They're working on it. That's the right. No, that's the right. Yeah. That's the one we have. That's the mountain. It is the. It's a big How many people sit in a seat? Okay, then you can sit between you and the car. You don't get scared.
We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships, space submarines, and astronauts. And if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire showcases. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships, doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astro blasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future.
As we pull into the station, please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop. Visit Tomorrowland will be your stop for Star Tours, Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters, Autopia, Space Mountain, Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage. For those of you looking to get back to the downtown Disney area or back to the Disneyland Hotel, this is your stop for the monorail. Once again, folks, please remain seated until we come to a full and complete stop. To those of you that will be continuing on with us, please scoot all the way in order to make room for friends joining us here in the station. Thank you for your patience, everyone. We're now departing Tomorrowland. Please make sure all the little ones are seated away when the train openings are on and adults left. Our next stop is Main Street. Before we get there, we will be traveling through Grand Canyon and back in time for the Primeval world. You guys are more than welcome to take pictures and videos. Just please no flash photography or video recording the sliding over in the tunnel up ahead. To those of you with light up Mickey ears, lightsabers, bubble wands, or any other fun light up toys or accessories, please be sure to turn them off for the comfort and courtesy of those around you. Once again, folks, our next stop is Main Street. Please remain seated.
Brazil, yes.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y tenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Cuida a los pequeños. Por favor, no tomen fotografías con flash.
No flash photography or video lighting.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the Primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland. We hope you enjoyed your travel.
Please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop. This is Main Street Station. To those of you with folded strollers and folded wheelchairs, please keep them folded until you reach the bottom of the exit stairs. This is our only station without an exit ramp. Stairs, please.